Hello, welcome to Crafting Kitty. My name is Erin, and it's Saturday, so it is time for my weekly roundup. Yay! So, what is my weekly roundup? Every Saturday, we go through my week in crafting and occasionally talk about the book I'm reading. We're actually going to talk about it today. Yay! So, we talk about any works in progress I have. Let's be honest, there's always a work in progress. And any finished objects. Some weeks there aren't any. This week I think I'm pretty good. Oh, my phone. Okay, Brian and Bingo are out garage sailing, so I might need to take phone breaks as they ask my opinion on things. Just an FYI. But we're gonna try to go through this in pretty prompt order. I'm quite excited with everything I got done, and I have the stitch marker of the day from Miss Ellie Leva. Oh, and there's a pumpkin confetti that got on the inside. Ah, I love it. So Ellie is, I'm gonna put the confetti back in my pack. Ellie is organizing a handmade Christmas ornament swap as well. I shared it on my community tab, but if you want to check out her channel, go check out the video there. It's got like a fiber optic Christmas tree in the background, and she gives you all the details. Basically, you need to email her. She's going to give you a number. You have, oh, I've totally forgotten her deadline for contacting her, but I feel like it was a bit far out, like maybe even the end of October, early November. Don't quote me, check the video. But it has to be a handmade ornament. Any type of crafting, any type of handmade is good, but it has to be a handmade ornament. And you're going to get somebody to swap with a Christmas ornament. Fun! A holiday ornament. Fun! It sounds like a good time. I told her I'd love to participate. If you are interested, please go check that out. Also, I have the day 3 stitch marker of the day. This is from her fall colors set. She's also doing a Halloween set and a scary movie. I'm not sure if, I thought it was an add-on for the scary movie, but it might be a full set. If you have questions, ask her. She's totally awesome and always willing to chit-chat about that. Oh, this is cute! Okay, so this is a orange wooden bead with some white polka dots on it and a, I'm going to call that pearlescent bead at the bottom. And the paper is adorable. It's apples in like a wooden basket, like a bushel. Come on, focus. Look at how cute that is. And this one is on the circle clasp, which is super helpful for me when knitting. When you contact Ellie about these sets, you can ask specifically for lobster clasps or you like the round clasps. Definitely let her know that. She is welcome to that. I always just say, give me a mix. I don't care because I do knit and crochet. But yeah, she is open to things like that. So just let her know. Day 3. Thank you. These are so pretty. I am so happy with this. I'm always happy with Ellie's stitch marker sets though. Okay, anything else I was supposed to say at the beginning? Oh, I mean, there's so many things going around the YouTube streets. Hit up anybody's channel and you'll find them. There's Boggy Creek, Connie at Just Another Stitch. I think she's doing a gnome along. There's, going with the Boggy Creek thing, I know there's a Granny Square challenge. There's tons of stuff going on. So it is not dull here in the crafty yarny community. And it was not dull here this week. I hear the pitter patter of puppy feet. 1 second. Are you guys home?
What?
Okay, I was just wondering why the dogs were going crazy.
It's upstairs.
Hey. They are back from garage sailing. So I have a number of things. Actually, I'm going to just take a break because they're going to ask me to see their purchases, and it's always exciting. Bingo loves to show it off. Okay, see you in a few. Bye-bye. Okay, and I am back, and I did get something. This is a 24-inch ruler made for the cutting mats, and it's got lines for bias to line it up. It's super duper helpful, and there is a circle template that was stuck in the bag with it. So Brian got me a little sewing helper. A bargain. $2. Garage sales are awesome. Okay, so I forget where we left off. I think I was hopping into my completed projects. Let's do completed projects first. Oh, actually, no. I need to apologize for no poor decisions last night. We were about to film, or like we were getting ready to, and I still have some on my arms, but I like erupted in this really weird hive itchy reaction, and I just said no thank you. I'm not doing anything tonight except resting, and I tried to put some steroid cream on it, see if it would help. It helped a bit, but it stung. I don't know what it is. We'll see. Probably not the best to just shove steroids on things you don't know what it is, but whatever. It is what it is. Okay, now I've got way off track. Way off track. Anyway, I do apologize. I know a lot of you look forward to poor decisions, and we have a lot of fun making them, so yeah, the universe willing, I hope we can get some filmed here for ya. We like doing them. Okay, now let's head to finished objects. So, if you watched my Things We're Making Thursday, you saw my internal struggle with which pattern to make next, and I decided I was going to use this Landscapes, Line Brand Landscapes in the colorway, I think it was Mountain Range, to make the Fantail Stitch fingerless gloves. Hooked by Robin. That was a Hooked by Robin pattern. I always confuse it with Bee Hooked. I don't know why. But Hooked by Robin, that was her pattern tutorial for the gloves, and she has a matching infinity scarf. So I whipped up the infinity scarf that matches the glove pattern, and I really love this yarn. It is so beautiful. Like, for some reason my shadows are really weird here, but it is gorgeous. It's autumnal, it's awesome, and I actually have a bit of a trouble finding my seam line here. So I don't, where did I seam it together? I suppose that's good, huh? But I watched the tutorial, and then I kind of just had the pattern up because she has a written pattern on her website as well as a tutorial for it on her YouTube channel. So I'm going to have the tutorial linked through the description box. You can get to the written pattern if you want to see that. Basically, the only trick is stop on a non-shell round if you want to do the infinity scarf. But there's no reason it couldn't just be a standard scarf if you just kept going. I had 3 skeins of this. I, spoiler alert, may have finished the mitts and just used the rest to make the scarf. And that's where we're at. I did have, like, I got surprised. Brian and I were talking, and I was crocheting away, and then all of a sudden it just, I ran out of yarn, so I wasn't watching what I had, so I had to frog back a shell row and then like half of a non-shell row, so I had just a little bit of yarn left over, but not much at all. So here we go. It's beautiful. I love it. I am gonna sneeze. So here we go. We have this, and now I have something to put on Betty here, so she has some apparel finally. I am so excited to have a little fall set for myself. Well, I will work on making that look pretty later. Okay, what else have I done? I have finished one of Bingo's mittens. Here you go. I have started work on the second one, so she's gonna have a pair of mittens soon. I also did continue making washcloths for the Starfish Association. Heather from Strings and Threads was contacted by this group. The group supports homeless vets, has washing stations, makes tiny homes. It seems like a really cool organization. But they were wondering if we'd be willing to donate any washcloths to them. So of course a number of people have taken up the call. I again am using this Lily Sugar and Cream that I got from Michael's, and I wanted to see how it looked in the bias. So this is another one of the Tunisian simple stitch bias ones. This one curls quite a bit, but I think the stripes look really cute in this. I like this. So here we go. One more washcloth for donation. If you want more information, I'll have the Starfish website link down below. The address for mailing the washcloths is down below in the description box. Also, please watch Heather's videos. She has all the information. She's the point person on this. Yay! What else did I make? I made the cute little baby pixie hat from the Mary Maxim Starlet. This is a knit hat. I freehanded it. I did knit it flat because the 5mm knitting needles have been... I'm making a lot of projects apparently with a 4-weight yarn in knitting right now. So most of them are claimed. This one is going to be donated for some kiddo this fall winter. I figure it will be adorable. I mean, little pixie hats. They're so cute. And then I wanted to make another hat for my LYS challenge. This one, oh no, I don't have the yarn band because the other project I'm doing I left by my chair, so I'm missing one whip. Okay, so my LYS local yarn shop is doing a challenge. If you make 23 hats in 2023, you can pick out a hank of Madeline Tosh yarn from them. Seems fabulous. Catch is you have to use yarn purchased in that store. So they had a sale and I was able to pick up a couple of hanks of a Noro. I don't remember the variety right now, but it is one of the cotton ones. It has cotton and silk. There's no wool in this one. And I freehanded this. It's a granny stitch hat. I just had the idea that this yarn might look really cool in a granny stitch, and I want it to be kind of oversized and a bit slouchy. So I worked a while trying to make the crown of it granny stitch. I could not get it to work. I think I'll try again, but the weight of this yarn seems about a 3-weight. Like it's almost a heavy 2 light 3. It is a bit roving, but it's so pretty. And I really thought it would look super cool in the granny stitch. And I think it looks really cool in the double crochet too, but for some reason I had granny stitch in my head. I'm going to stop blabbering, but here we go. So that's the crown. I did double crochet crown, and then I worked a granny stitch around the body of the hat, and then the brim is just single crochets, and I wanted to cinch the brim up and try to give it like a slouchy, blousey feel, and I think I got it. But there you go. I think it is cute. It's adorable. This will be another hat for my LYS challenge, and I mean, like, it's poofy enough where it can house my ponytail in there without much issue. And I guess it looks kind of silly there, but my ponytail's in a high spot. If I was wearing this, like, normally I'd put my ponytail lower. But anyway, see, it can, like, all my hair can get shoved up in there, and then it's got a little bit slouchy in the back. That's what I was going for. I think it looks kind of cute. Maybe, does it have a bit of a, maybe I was channeling my late 90s Rasta experience. Not that I was into it, but you know, it was everywhere in that time, if you are of a certain age. I guess, I don't know, is that going to come back soon? I've certainly been seeing a lot of those styles coming back in the fall, like those shoes, the platform shoes with the just the wide strap at the top. If you know, you know, you know. We rock those, the big combat boots. I really hope the low-rise jeans stay away forever. But anyway, I'm blabbering incoherently at this point. Those are my finished projects. So I've got a hat made. I had more of that yarn left. I'm working on trying to knit it up to see how it looks differently knit. I think it's going to be pretty cool. For works in progress, I don't have too terribly many. Oh, for this scarf, she She suggests you use a 4.5 millimeter hook. I did not. I used a 5 millimeter. I thought it looked better with the yarn, and frankly, the yarn though suggests a 6.5 millimeter hook, but I used a 5 millimeter. I really like it. I think it ended up a nice, it's going to be a nice warm scarf. But what I have is really only I'll say 3 works in. No! I have another finished object. I finished Bingo's orange sock. So I finished one of her socks. And then one of my whips, I of course started the second sock. So it's barely started. I'm just on the cuff ribbing. But there we go. I am using Premier Fruits sock yarn and a US 2 Clover Takumi bamboo 9-inch circular needle. And it's working out great. For the kiddos' feet, I like casting on 52 stitches and then doing a 2x2 rib. It's basically, if you look on Premier.com to buy that yarn, 2 sock patterns come up. One is an adult sock, one is a children's sock. And then I have done the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla sock tutorial on 9-inch circulars. The 2 patterns are very close. I've basically smushed the 2 together and sized it down for what the children want. Chomps wanted longer socks but not full knee socks, so I just varied the ankle, leg, cuff portion of the sock for him. Bingo wanted shorties, so varied that for her. And then I didn't like the toe decrease on the Premier sock pattern, so I subbed that for the toe decrease style that the Crazy Sock Lady uses in her vanilla sock pattern, and I thought that looked much nicer. I also prefer the way she handles the heel flap and instep portion of the socks. The Premier pattern wants you to do it opposite, so I basically, yeah, like I said, I just mushed the 2 together and make a sock. It turns out well. I'm liking it. I'm not going to try to claim it's my own pattern or anything, because it's not. I'm just taking things I've learned from doing other patterns and put them together in my own mind. But that's all what the learning process is, right? I brought this up only because it was stuck inside another bag. I didn't knit on this at all. This is the CNC cowl from Mountain Meadow Wools. I want to get back to that. I did work a little bit on my Hugs and Kisses shawl. This is my item I'm making for the Tiffany Hansen KraftingKitty Creator Spotlight this month. It's going to be a giveaway item. I'm using the puzzle yarn. Her pattern, she uses Scarfy, which says it's a 5-weight. When I've used Scarfy, it's more of a, I think it's more of a 4-weight. For this, I have gone up to, I believe I'm using my 6, yep, I'm using my 6 millimeter crochet hook in the pattern. Tiffany says to use a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. I liked 6. I might have even gone up to a 6.5, but at this point I'm too far in to restart. But yep, it's the Hugs and Kisses shawl. I'm going to have the tutorial linked down below, and I'm enjoying it. I'm fun. It's basically a 3-row repeat, and yeah, here we go. It's going to be a shallower shawl that maybe you can wear, I think, maybe more in the kind of neck bandana style or the usual shawl. So it's not going to be very deep in the shawl portion, the back portion. But yeah, I don't know how big it's going to get because, like I said, I'm using a different size hook than Tiffany does. So I don't know when I'm going to hit her dimensions. And I tend, so I'm on the taller side. I used to be 5'8". let's not talk about it. But I basically just work to my wingspan on most shawls. And I figure if I get to my wingspan, it's going to fit just about anybody. With a little room to snuggle, right? We all want to snuggle in our shawls. So, I guess the other whip I can show you is the mitten that I'm making for bingo. I did last week. I said I lost the pattern. I have recovered the pattern. It was just at the bottom of a stack. This is Mrs. Murdoch's Mittens by Brenda K.B. Anderson. It is a free pattern I found on Ravelry. It'll be linked down below. And I think it's a very, very nice. The one thing I will caution is in the pattern, she asks you to use a 4-weight yarn and a 4mm crochet hook. That was way, way, way too tight for me. I'm using standard Red Heart Super Saver. It was very tight. It was very stiff. So what I've done for bingo is gone up to a 4.5mm crochet hook. But I made, there's 3 sizes. There's toddler, kids, adult. I tried making the kid size with the 4.5. It turned out laughably large. I tried it on Chomp's hands and it was even too big for him. So what I've done is I've sized up the hook but gone down to the toddler size mitten. So that's what this is. This is the toddler size mitten in that pattern done with a 4.5mm hook. It fits her wonderfully. The thumb is a bit floppy, but I mean, just gives her a little bit of room to grow this winter, right? They always grow. They never stop growing, do they? But yeah, so I've got this going, and that's that on my whips that I have to show you. As I mentioned, I'm making a knit hat out of this Noro, but I left it in the other room. Yeah, that's about it. I'm a bit scatterbrained today. That's okay. So the final thing to talk about is my book I'm reading. I have stuck to my chapter a night. It doesn't look like I've read very much because a couple of the chapters were very short, but it's about getting back into the practice of reading every night before bed, and that's what I've done. So I'm very excited. I'm reading Patrick Rothfuss's book, The Wise Man's Fear. This is book 2 in the Kingkiller Chronicles. The first book is The Name of the Wind. That's probably the one you've heard of if you've heard of this book series. There's one short story, and there's a novella, and there is a new novella that's going to be released either this October or November. I've pre-ordered that. It'll come when it comes. But yeah, I really, really enjoy this writing style. I really enjoy this world. I really enjoy this book. If you are into sword and sorcery kind of fantasy, I think you would enjoy it as well. However, there's a book 3 that has long been promised and has not been delivered. So if that causes you anxiety, if you don't like that, just don't read the book. Walk away, come back when book 3 is done. That's my best advice. There are so many other wonderful series you can read in the meantime. There's no want for quality fantasy books. But yes, I really, really like this. I've read some reviews that people thought it went on a bit too long and it kind of loses its way. I mean, I guess I'm like maybe a quarter of the way through. I'm on page 324. There's like 1,100 pages in here. Yep, 1106. There's 1107. So I'm a little over a quarter of the way through. I'm enjoying it. I like it. I don't want to give too much away, but I think it's a really interesting way to tell a book. Basically, at the beginning, a scribe who collects stories walks into a bar and wants to get the main character's story. He's a famous figure in the realm. And he agrees, but says it's going to take me 3 days to tell the story. So book 1 is day 1 of him telling. Book 2 is day 2 of him telling. Presumably book 3 will be day 3 of him telling and the completion of his story. Yeah, I think it's neat. There's a couple of jumps back and forth because of that narrative style. Much of it is told in the past, but you do have some breaks where it talks about the present day, what going ons in the world. So, yep, presumably at the end of the book, everything will come to a head and the past will meet the present, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. I am enjoying it, like I keep saying, and I'm just going to keep blabbering on about it. So I am going to stop. I will see you guys all later. Actually,